Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. My name is Cyndy. Thank you so very, very much for being here. So, as we all know, the Republicans have approved, they have the vote to go ahead with an impeachment investigation on Biden. So what's that about? Right? What is that about? Well, that is about keeping the waters muddy so that people are distracted and they're not paying attention to everything the Republicans are not doing and to Trump. What they want is to be able to say, well, you impeached Trump, but that doesn't matter because Biden was also impeached. And they're trying to make it, like an equivalency. And it's not. I mean, it's just not. But that's what they're doing. I can't remember, but there was a House member who was asked, what he thought about the impeachment thing or why he wanted to go ahead with the impeachment thing. And he literally said, Trump 2024. So this is the thing about the Republicans. They no longer say the quiet part quietly. Right now they're shouting it from the rooftops, whether it's, Trump quoting Hitler or, somebody else saying, yeah, this is absolutely why we're doing it. This has, nothing to do with actual merit. It has nothing to do with facts. This just has to do with, keeping Trump happy. So I want to take a look at that. Hang on, because I dropped cards. So let's take a peek at that, shall we? I'm not going to look if the results come up. Like if they actually get to a vote and they actually vote to impeach him, which I don't believe they're going to. If that comes up in the cards, I'll read it. But mostly, what I want to know right now is what impact does that have? One, on Biden, and two, on the House Republicans. So let's take a look at impact, Biden investigation, Biden and House. Impact, Biden impeachment investigation, Biden and House. Kind of a lot of words, eh? Impact, Biden, impeachment. Here we go. What do we know right now? All righty. Okay. All right. So we're starting with temperance, okay? So this is sort of exactly what I was just saying. They're trying to balance the scales, right? They're trying to make it look like, Trump leading an insurrection and or, trying to strong arm Ukraine into finding imaginary dirt on Biden when in 2016. They're trying to equate that with no one's even quite sure. Something maybe that possibly might have happened when Biden wasn't in office and something about buying a truck for his son who were paying for a truck. And honestly, right? But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get enough noise and static out there that people start equating the two. Well, if he did, then he did. And so therefore, it's a non-issue on both sides. That's kind of the thinking. Listen, they're going to keep flooding this message, okay? They're not going to be quiet about it. It's the only thing they have, all right? They got nothing. They have no policies. They have nothing that that constitutes like making a law or, trying to do something, like their jobs. So this is it. So they're just going to keep talking about it and talking nonsense. And you'll notice that more and more, when they start, the media, right, the people who are interviewing them are saying, where's your proof? What are you talking about? Where's the documentation? To which they sputter and moan. And then they say, well, I don't have it right here, but I'll get it to you. But they're starting to get pushback because there's nothing. Their experts are saying there's nothing. Okay? But that's where we're at. Now, their intention, as I said, is to just keep this kind of narrative going. It pleases Trump, and that's the bottom line, right? They are in the business of keeping Trump happy. They are no longer in the business of being politicians. They are no longer in the business of working for their constituents. They are no longer in the business of anything except keeping Trump happy. So that's what they do. Now, this is where it's going to get a little sticky for them. You have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords, okay? So they're going to sort of continue to push this narrative, right? But they're not going to have the receipts. They're not going to have the goods. So there is no paperwork. There is no documentation. There is no law that was broken. There is, nothing. Eventually, Four of Swords. Eventually, it is going to cause them to kind of pull back. I don't see a vote for impeachment being successful. And it's as of right now, the Republicans have the House, and there's enough Republicans to vote to go ahead. But there are going to be a handful of Republicans who are going, this is beyond silly, and so I can't vote to actually impeach this man who has done nothing. And the things that we're yelling about, he wasn't even in office. So, but that's where it's going to get them. Now, what's interesting is while they're busy doing this juggling act, it's actually going to create more, like a more sympathetic view towards Biden, because Biden's going to keep on doing what Biden does, right? He's going to go out there and say goofy things and have gaffes, but it all comes from the heart, right? And he continues to get stuff done. So while the Republicans are like trying to create this dust storm, Biden's just going to keep on doing what he does. But people are going to start like questioning, I guess, why the Republicans are pushing this so hard when there's nothing there and nobody can find anything there. So that's what we're going to discover as this thing goes forward. It's interesting because you know what? Eventually, the Republicans are going to have to walk away from this because it is going to be like a nothing burger. And they're going to have to bring this to a close and go on to their next, whatever the next crazy thing is. But what they're doing, in fact, is actually hurting themselves, because you now have, and according to polls, and okay, we don't exactly believe polls, but according to polls, there's a significant number of Republicans who have no intentions of voting for Trump again, and a significant number of Republicans who might vote for Trump unless he is convicted of something. So, he's running up against sort of his own problems. And, I don't know why politicians persist in thinking that people are dumb. People, I think, by and large, are uninformed. And I don't mean that in an insulting way, but people have their lives, right? They're busy doing stuff. They're not paying attention to what asshat thing Jim Jordan did, or Comer did, or any of the others, right? They're not paying attention. And so until the election starts moving closer and closer, that's when they kind of zero in on what's been going on politically. And as they do, what they're going to find is that there's a whole bunch of stuff that actually got done under the Biden administration and nothing that the Republicans did. And, so that's going to play a role. Just as an aside, honestly, it kind of made me very, very sad when I heard this. There apparently was some sort of a poll done, and it might have been New Hampshire, but I could very, very easily be wrong. But it was somewhere sort of on the east. And people were questioned about the stuff that's coming out of Trump's mouth, the vermin and tainting our blood and live like animals. And what they found, horrifying, or horrifyingly, is that even a word? What they found was that it didn't bother most people because it was stuff that most people either thought or said themselves. So there's a lot of work to be done there, right? If that's how some people think about, immigrants coming from other countries who are just trying to make a better life for themselves and their families. So the things that we find so horrifying, apparently not so much for some people. All right. So now let's take a look at how Biden's going to be doing, right? There's a lot of concern about Biden and his health, and is he going to make it through? And is Kamala Harris going to end up, stepping into the presidency? I have to tell you, from what I can tell, energetically at this point, it's too soon to make those sorts of statements or decisions. Part of it is going to be dependent on how taxing, how literally exhausting this campaign is for Biden while he's trying to juggle all of these other balls, including, Ukraine and Israel and the House Republicans who are idiots. It's going to be a matter of how taxing it is for him. That may have more of an impact about, what that looks like going forward. All right. So let's take a look at Biden overall health vitality. Biden overall health vitality. Biden overall health vitality. How's Biden doing? Spirit? Tell us. So this is the thing about Biden. He has kind of made it clear that if there was a different or normal Republican running that wasn't named Trump, he probably would have been quite happy and content to be a one-term president. That decision or that choice or that option sort of feels like it was taken out of his hands. So whatever plan or strategy he had, as long as Trump continues to be the, heir apparent of the Republican nomination, Biden's going to hold steady. Now, if something were to happen to Biden, if something were to happen to Trump, and I don't know, like July or August or April or May or whatever, would Biden at that point step back? I don't think so. Energetically, I don't think so. He's made the commitment now, and he is going to see this through. He has luck on his side. He has magic on his side. He has angelic assistance on his side. He has a great deal of emotional support from his family. And yes, he's tired. And yes, he's getting quite elderly. But that is not going to change the direction of where he's going and how he's going. So what you're going to see, there's Trump being, Trump. But Trump is actually the one who may very soon be experiencing some significant ill health or issues that, cause one to question his health or how he's doing. So when it comes right down to it, what I'm hearing basically is this: listen, it's really, really important that everybody continue to send positive thoughts, uplifting thoughts, healthy healing thoughts towards that which you want the result to be. All right? Now, I want to just take so that's what I know. Okay, so right now the House Republicans are going to continue what they're doing, and they're going to just start to look stupider and stupider, and it's going to turn people off. But Biden is going to continue to carry on. I've got nothing here that sort of tells me that there is any sort of significant health crisis on the immediate horizon for him. And beyond anything else, I think honestly we're not going to get clarity about what that looks like, or who might be in office for the entire 4 years. Let's just hold off on panicking about that. And there's going to be some health concerns or issues that come up with Trump. I just want to take a moment and have a little tiny conversation about manifesting. Because I think it's really, really important that we all really, really start to become mindful of the thoughts we're thinking and the impact or the result that they have energetically as they sort of swirl around out there. You know that like attracts like, right? It's as simple as that. So positive energy attracts more positive energy, lower vibrational energy attracts more of that. In order to maintain that higher vibrational energy, listen, it's work. That's why you're called light workers, all right? Sorry, that just sort of struck me as funny, right? It's like you're not called, light sitting on the couches or light, on a vacation. You're light workers. It's work to keep that energy high. And nobody accomplishes it 24/7, 100% of the time. Just doesn't happen. That's not how humans are capable of functioning, frankly. But the way that you manifest, and this applies to anything. Now, a lot of people who have private readings from me who, for whatever reason, over the course of the reading have, we've ended up talking about manifestation for whatever reason, have heard me say the most favorite definition of manifesting to me is the words confident expectation. That's how you manifest. You stay in a place of confident expectation. So take a moment and think about something good, something wonderful that you know is going to happen. All right. And tap into that energy. And listen, this can be anything from, a really good meal at a restaurant to a hug from a grandchild to, knowing that your favorite song is coming up next on the CD you're playing. Tap into that energy. That energy is what is known as confident expectation, the definition of manifestation. When you are in that space, your manifestation powers are the most powerful. As soon as you start giving into, but what if, and I'm worried, and it just draws down the energy. Okay. And then that confidence, that expectation, that feeling of excitement, it starts to diminish. So it's important that, you be mindful of the words that are rolling around in the head and the things you're thinking. It is really, really easy to phrase things with a negative, right? I don't want Trump to win. I don't want ABC. All right. But what you're doing is just by the statement, you are making the assumption that it's going to happen, and you're already defending yourself against the fact that you don't want that to happen. That's not how you talk. What you say is, I am confident And I'm sitting in confidence, absolutely knowing that this event is in fact already set in motion. I know that this will come to pass. I am grateful that Biden will be reelected and he will have a healthy and successful second term in office, which is very, very different than I'm scared there's going to be a problem and Trump's going to try to steal the election again, and it's going to cause too much strain on Biden and he's going to get really sick. And then Kamala Harris is going to have to step into the presidency and half of the country is going to be upset because one, she's a woman and two, she's black. Okay? Don't do that. Don't go there. You know, however, or whether you celebrate the holidays or whatever portion of the holidays you do or not celebrate, this is a time of year where we start to think about, love and generosity and giving and hope and goodwill. So let's incorporate all of those feelings as we sit in confident expectation and know that we are manifesting that which is already written. I hope that helps. All right. Take really, really good care. And I will see you probably tomorrow with a mini. Bye for now.